neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change. Think about that for a moment. The idea that your brain, your entire mental operating system, is not fixed, not stuck in place, but malleable, flexible, adaptable. It means you are not defined by your past, by your mistakes, or even by the limitations you think you have. The brain can change, and you hold the key to that transformation. Many of us go through life carrying patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving that are nothing more than habits. These patterns are hardwired into our brains through years of repetition. Maybe you wake up every morning and immediately feel overwhelmed. You start thinking about all the problems in your life, and before your feet even touch the floor, your body is already in a state of stress. These responses feel automatic, like they're out of your control. But what if I told you that they are not? Your brain is like a magnificent piece of clay, constantly being molded and shaped by your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. This process is called neuroplasticity. Every thought you think, every choice you make, every feeling you feel, and every behavior you repeat reinforces certain neural pathways in your brain. Imagine this: your brain is a dense forest with millions of pathways carved through it. Some of these pathways are well trodden, like highways, because you've traveled them so many times. Others are like faint trails, barely visible because you rarely use them. When you repeat a thought, a feeling, or an action, you deepen the trail, making it easier and more automatic the next time. This is how habits are formed, whether they are good or bad. But here's the incredible truth: if you can create these pathways, you can also change them. You are not a victim of your brain, you are the architect of it. So, if your brain can change, and if you are the one who can change it, the question becomes, what do you want to create? What kind of life do you want to build? What version of yourself are you ready to become? Now, let's talk about how. 1. Awareness, the first step to change. You cannot change what you are not aware of. Start by paying attention to the thoughts that dominate your mind. Are they empowering or disempowering? Are they focused on possibilities or limitations? Many people live in a state of unconscious thought patterns, replaying the same beliefs day after day. I'm not good enough. This will never work. Life is just hard. But here's the thing: those thoughts are not facts. They are just repeated ideas that you've allowed to take root. The first step to rewiring your brain is to catch yourself in the act of thinking these limiting thoughts. When you do, pause and ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is it taking me closer to the person I want to be? Or is it holding me back? 2. Focus on what you want. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something real. When you focus on what you want instead of what you fear, you activate different neural networks. You literally train your brain to see opportunities instead of obstacles. Close your eyes for a moment and visualize the life you want. Picture it in detail. What does it feel like to wake up in that reality? What kind of thoughts do you have? How do you carry yourself? The more vividly you can imagine this, the more your brain begins to believe it. This is not just wishful thinking, it's science. Your brain fires and wires in response to the images you hold in your mind. Over time, those images become your mental blueprint, and your brain begins to align your actions with that vision. 3. The power of repetition. Repetition is how the brain learns. If you've spent years thinking negative thoughts, it's not going to change overnight. But with consistent effort, you can replace those old pathways with new ones. Start by choosing a few empowering affirmations that align with the person you want to become. Say them out loud every day, even if you don't fully believe them at first. I am capable. I am worthy of healing. I am resilient. Repetition rewires the brain. It's like planting seeds. The more you nurture them, the stronger they grow. 4. Emotions are the glue. Thoughts on their own are powerful, but when you combine them with emotion, you supercharge the process. Why? Because emotions create a chemical signal in your body that tells your brain this is important. Pay attention. Think about a powerful memory from your life. Chances are you remember it so vividly because it was charged with emotion. Whether it was joy, sadness, love, or fear, the emotion made that memory stick. So when you visualize the life you want, don't just think about it, feel it. Feel the gratitude, the excitement, the confidence of already living in that reality. When you do this, you are literally programming your brain to prioritize that reality. 5. Break the cycle of stress. Stress is one of the biggest obstacles to rewiring your brain. When you're stressed, your body is flooded with cortisol and your brain goes into survival mode. In this state, it's nearly impossible to think clearly, let alone create new neural pathways. That's why managing stress is critical. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, and mindfulness are not just nice to haves. They are essential tools for rewiring your brain. These practices calm your nervous system, reduce cortisol, and create the mental space for healing and transformation. 6. Surround yourself with positivity. Your environment matters. The people you spend time with, the media you consume, and the conversations you engage in all influence your brain. Surround yourself with positivity, people who uplift you, content that inspires you, and experiences that nurture your growth. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity, you reinforce those neural pathways. But when you immerse yourself in positivity, you create an environment that supports your transformation. 7. Take inspired action. Thoughts and emotions are the foundation, but action is what cements the change. Start small. Choose one habit or behavior that aligns with the person you want to become and commit to it. Maybe it's starting a gratitude journal, going for a daily walk, or setting aside 10 minutes for meditation. Each small step reinforces the new neural pathways you're creating. Over time, these small actions add up to massive transformation. 8. Patience and persistence. Remember, this is a journey, not a quick fix. Your brain has spent years wiring itself into its current patterns, and it will take time to rewire it. But every step you take, every thought you change, every new habit you build is progress. Be kind to yourself in this process. Celebrate the small victories, and don't be discouraged by setbacks. They are part of the journey. 9. You are not your past. Many people feel trapped by their past experiences, their traumas, or their mistakes. But here's the truth: your past does not define you. It is just a story your brain has been telling itself. You have the power to write a new story. The moment you decide to change your thoughts, you begin to change your brain. And when you change your brain, you change your life. The role of positive thinking and mindfulness. Now, think about those words for a moment. What do they mean to you? Is it just the fleeting thought that optimism is a nice idea, or does it stir something deeper within you, something that makes you believe change is truly possible? Let me tell you, your thoughts are the language of your mind, and your feelings are the language of your body. Together, they create the reality you live in, and every emotion you feel reflects the response your body sends back. This constant feedback loop is what shapes your life. If your thoughts are predominantly negative, you're hardwiring your brain to expect negativity. That's the truth. But here's the extraordinary part. Just as your brain can be wired to expect struggle, it can be rewired to expect joy, abundance, and health. This is where positive thinking and mindfulness come into play. Positive thinking isn't about ignoring life's challenges. It's about shifting your perception. When you focus on possibilities instead of limitations, on solutions instead of problems, you're retraining your brain to notice opportunities rather than obstacles. But let me be clear. This isn't some abstract concept. This is science. Research has shown that positive thinking can change the structure of your brain. It activates areas in the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain associated with planning, decision-making, and emotional regulation. Think about that. By consciously choosing positive thoughts, you're strengthening the very part of your brain that helps you stay calm and focused in the face of adversity. But it's not just about thinking positively. It's about pairing those thoughts with mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present, fully engaged in the moment, without judgment. When you combine mindfulness with positive thinking, you create a powerful synergy. Mindfulness helps you become aware of your thoughts. It's like holding up a mirror to your mind. You start to notice patterns. Maybe you catch yourself thinking, I'll never be good enough, or this will never work out. Once you notice these patterns, you can change them. This is the reprogramming phase. Instead of letting those negative thoughts run your life on autopilot, you replace them with empowering ones. You might say to yourself, I am capable. I am worthy. I have everything I need to succeed. At first, it might feel awkward, even fake. But repetition is the key. The more you practice, the more these positive thoughts become. How often do you take your new default to just breathe and be present? How often do you step away from the chaos of your daily life to reconnect with yourself? For many of us, the answer is not often enough. But here's the thing. Your breath is your anchor. It's your tool for bringing yourself back to the present moment. When you're mindful, when you're fully present, you're no longer living in the past or worrying about the future. You're here, now. And this is where transformation happens. It's in the present moment that you can choose a new thought, a new feeling, a new way of being. Let's do an exercise right now. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let go of any tension you're holding in your body. Now, bring to mind a positive thought, something that makes you feel good. Maybe it's gratitude for a loved one, or excitement about a dream you're working toward. Let's do this thing seamlessly. As you start to get on your own meditation, drift off, find some extra time. The body, notice how your body feels. What you're doing right now is rewiring your brain. You're creating a new neural pathway, one that associates this thought with a sense of well-being. The more you practice this, the stronger that pathway becomes. Over time, this new way of thinking becomes automatic. But let me tell you, this isn't just about feeling good. Positive thinking and mindfulness have profound effects on your physical health. Studies have shown that these practices can lower your stress levels, reduce inflammation, and even strengthen your immune system. Why? Because when you think positive thoughts and practice mindfulness, you're reducing the production of stress hormones like cortisol and increasing the release of feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. So what does this mean for you? It means you have the power to heal right here, right now. It doesn't matter what challenges you faced, what habits you've formed, or what limitations you've believed about yourself. You can rewire your thoughts and your brain to heal today. But I'm going to be honest with you. This isn't a one-time thing. It's a practice. It's a commitment. You have to show up for yourself every day, even on the days when it feels hard, even when your old thought patterns try to pull you back. The key is to start small. Especially set aside just a few minutes each day to practice mindfulness. Maybe you begin your day with a gratitude list, writing down 3 things you're thankful for. Or perhaps you end your day with a meditation, reflecting on the positive moments you experienced. The important thing is consistency. Your brain changes through repetition. The more you practice, the more those new neural pathways strengthen, and the easier it becomes to live from a place of positivity. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're walking through a dense forest. At first, there's no path, just thick underbrush. But every day you take the same route, pushing aside branches, stepping over roots. Over time, you create a trail. Eventually, that trail becomes the easiest, most natural path to take. That's what you're doing in your brain. You're creating a new trail, a new way of thinking, feeling, and being. Now, let's talk about emotions. Emotions are powerful. They're the bridge between your thoughts and your body. When you think a positive thought, your brain releases chemicals that make you feel good, and when you feel good, it reinforces that positive thought. It's a cycle, and you're in control. But the reverse is also true. Negative thoughts can lead to negative emotions, which can create stress in your body. This is why it's so important to become aware of thoughts and emotions with the reality. Because when you change your thoughts, you change your emotions. And you're not just changing your brain. You're changing your entire energy field. You're becoming a magnet for the experiences and opportunities that align with your highest self. Start today. Start right now. Because every moment is an opportunity to heal. Every thought you think is a choice. Thinking, and every choice you make, mindfulness. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be big. What kind of future do you want to create? Just take one step. A future of health, happiness, and abundance. It's possible. It's within your reach. But it starts with you. It starts with your thoughts. It starts with your decision to say, yes, I can. Rewire my brain. Yes, I can heal. You are more powerful than you realize. You are the creator of your life. So go ahead, and the life you want, think the thought, is closer than you think. Be present. It's as close as your next thought, as your life, your next breath begins to transform your next moment of mindfulness in ways you never thought possible. Engage in mindful breathing or meditation. Do it every morning. Let it be the first thing you commit to upon waking before the day rushes in to claim your attention. Why? Because this is not just a habit, it is a way to recalibrate your mind and body to shed the weight of yesterday and to step into a future that you consciously design. Think about it. Each morning when you open your eyes, you are gifted with a fresh canvas. What you choose to do with those first moments determines how you paint the rest of your day. But here's the challenge. Most of us wake up carrying the baggage of the past. We open our eyes and instantly we're pulled back into the memories, the worries, the stresses, and the routines that keep us tethered to the same reality we wish to transcend. That's where mindful breathing and meditation come in. This practice is not about sitting cross-legged and escaping the world. It's about reclaiming your power, quieting the noise, and aligning yourself with the vision of who you want to become. It's about stepping into the creative seat of your own life. So let's talk about the science of this. When you wake up, your brain is naturally in a state of heightened receptivity. This is a window of opportunity, a time when your subconscious mind is open to suggestion. The brain waves that govern your state of mind, delta, theta, alpha, beta, are in transition. In the early morning, you're often in a relaxed alpha state, which is ideal for programming your mind with positive thoughts, intentions, and affirmations. Now, if you don't seize this window of opportunity, guess what happens? The old patterns take over. You reach for your phone, check your messages, scroll through social media, and let external influences dictate your mood and focus. But when you engage in mindful breathing or meditation first thing in the morning, you take control. You shift from being reactive to proactive. Let me walk you through the power of mindful breathing. When you focus on your breath, you're doing more than just calming yourself. You're influencing your physiology, your emotions, and your energy. The breath is a bridge between the conscious and subconscious mind. It's the one thing you can control in any moment, and it has a profound impact on your state of being. Try this. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Now exhale through your mouth slowly and completely. Do this 3 or 4 times. What happens? You'll notice a shift. Your heart rate slows, your shoulders relax, and your mind begins to settle. This is not accidental. When you breathe deeply and consciously, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for rest and recovery. You're signaling to your brain that it's safe to relax. And when your body relaxes, your mind follows. Now, let's take it a step further. Once you've calmed your body and centered your mind with breathing, you're ready for meditation. This is where the real transformation begins. Meditation is not about emptying your mind, it's about focusing it. It's about creating space for new thoughts, new ideas, and new possibilities to emerge. When you meditate, you're training your brain to step out of the habitual, survival-based patterns that dominate your thinking. You're breaking free from the cycle of stress, fear, and doubt that keeps you stuck. Instead, you're opening yourself up to creativity, intuition, and inspiration. Let me share a simple practice to get you started. After your breathing exercise, close your eyes and focus on a single intention. It could be a goal you want to achieve, a quality you want to embody, or a state of being you want to cultivate. For example, you might focus on feeling grateful, confident, or energized. Now, visualize this intention as if it's already real. See yourself living it, experiencing it, embodying it. Feel the emotions that come with it: joy, excitement, peace. The more vividly you can imagine this, the more powerful it becomes. Why? Because your brain doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you practice this regularly, you're essentially reprogramming your subconscious mind. You're replacing old, limiting beliefs with empowering ones. You're training your brain to focus on what you want rather than what you fear. And here's the best part. This doesn't take hours. You can do this in as little as 10 or 15 minutes each morning. What matters is consistency. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Some of you might be wondering, but what if my mind keeps wandering? That's normal. Meditation is not about stopping your thoughts. It's about observing them without judgment and gently bringing your focus back. Think of your mind as a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Now, let's talk about the ripple effect of this practice. When you start your day with mindful breathing and meditation, you're not just improving your morning, you're transforming your entire day. You're setting a tone of calm, focus, and positivity that carries through everything you do. Imagine walking into a meeting with clarity and confidence because you've already centered yourself. Imagine responding to challenges with patience and creativity because you've trained your mind to stay calm under pressure. Imagine ending the day feeling fulfilled because you've approached every task with intention and purpose. This is what's possible when you commit to this morning practice. But let me be clear, this is not magic. This is biology. This is neuroscience. This is you taking control of your inner world so you can shape your outer world. So my challenge to you is this: try it tomorrow morning. Before you reach for your phone, before you start thinking about the demands of the day, take a few minutes for yourself. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and meditate. Focus on what you want to create, who you want to be, and the life you want to live. Do this consistently and watch what happens. You'll notice subtle shifts at first: less stress, more focus, a greater sense of calm. Over time, these shifts will grow, and they'll begin to influence every area of your life. And the best part, you'll realize that success is not something you achieve, it's something you embody. It's not out there waiting for you to find it. It's within you, waiting for you to align with it. So take that first step. Breathe, meditate, create, and watch as your mornings and your life begin to transform. Behavior shapes the brain. That's right, your actions today are not just passing moments. They are building blocks for who you will become tomorrow. Every thought you think, every decision you make, and every habit you maintain leaves a trace on your neural circuitry. Your brain, that intricate organ sitting between your ears, is not fixed, static, or immutable. It is dynamic, alive, and constantly adapting to your experiences, your choices, and your behaviors. Let me remind you of something profound. You are not stuck. No matter where you are in life, no matter how long you've carried a particular mindset, habit, or emotional state, you have the power to change. The reason lies in the concept of neuroplasticity, the science-backed truth that your brain can reorganize itself, forming new neural pathways and connections. And what drives this miraculous process? Your behavior, your conscious, intentional actions. Think of your brain like a field of fertile soil. Every thought you think is a seed. Every action you take is the watering of that seed. If you plant seeds of negativity, doubt, or fear, and you water them with repetitive, self-defeating behaviors, what do you think will grow? Weeds. But if you plant seeds of optimism, self-belief, and possibility, and you nurture them with consistent, aligned behaviors, you will cultivate a flourishing garden of potential. Healing, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, requires more than just wishing for change. It requires aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the outcome you desire. If you want to heal, you must become the architect of your own transformation. Let me give you an example. When you repeatedly think a thought like, "I'll never get better," that thought fires a particular set of neurons in your brain. Over time, as you continue to entertain that thought, those neurons wire together, forming a neural network, a sort of mental shortcut. Your brain, being highly efficient, starts defaulting to this pathway because it's been used so often. This is how habits of thought and behavior are formed. But here's the empowering truth. Just as you've wired in these patterns, you can wire them out. You can break the cycle by choosing a new thought, a new emotion, and a new behavior. It begins with awareness. Pay attention to your mental chatter. When you catch yourself in a negative spiral, stop and consciously redirect your focus to a thought that aligns with the reality you want to create. For example, instead of saying, "I'll never get better," you could say, "I am capable of healing, and my body and mind are working together to bring me to a place of health and balance." In the beginning, this might feel awkward or untrue. That's normal because your old neural networks are still dominant. But with repetition and consistency, this new thought will begin to take root. And when you pair it with actions that reinforce your belief, like meditating, eating nourishing foods, exercising, or surrounding yourself with positive influences, you accelerate the rewiring process. Your behavior is the catalyst. When you act in ways that reflect the future you want to experience, you send a signal to your brain saying, "This is who I am now." Your brain doesn't distinguish between real and imagined experiences. It believes whatever you repeatedly tell it. So why not tell it a story of healing, growth, and empowerment? Now, let's talk about the role of emotions in this process. Emotions are the language of the body, and they serve as the bridge between your mind and your physical state. If you're constantly living in states of stress, worry, or fear, your body remains in survival mode. Healing cannot occur in this state because all of your energy is being directed toward fight or flight. But when you cultivate emotions like gratitude, love, and joy, you signal to your body that it's safe to relax, repair, and regenerate. Gratitude, in particular, is a powerful state of being. When you feel grateful, you are acknowledging the good in your life, even if it hasn't fully manifested yet. You're training your brain to focus on abundance rather than lack, on possibilities rather than problems. Let me guide you through a practical exercise. Think of something you're striving to heal, whether it's a broken relationship, a physical ailment, or a limiting belief. Close your eyes and imagine yourself already healed. See it, feel it, and experience it as though it's happening right now. Allow the emotions of relief, joy, and gratitude to fill your body. Stay with this vision for a few minutes every day. Why does this work? Because your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. When you repeatedly imagine a positive outcome and pair it with elevated emotions, you begin to rewire your brain to expect that outcome. And when your brain expects it, your behaviors naturally align with it. Let's not overlook the importance of breaking old habits. Many of us live on autopilot, running the same mental programs day in and day out. These programs dictate how we think, feel, and act. If you want to change your life, you must disrupt these patterns. One of the most effective ways to do this is by stepping into the unknown. The unknown is where growth happens. It's where new neural pathways are forged. When you do something unfamiliar, whether it's learning a new skill, meeting new people, or adopting a new perspective, you force your brain to adapt. And in that adaptation lies the opportunity to create something entirely new. Healing is not a linear process, nor is it a passive one. It requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to confront your old self so that you can create a new one. But let me assure you, the effort is worth it. Imagine waking up every day feeling empowered, aligned, and at peace. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing someone who has overcome their limitations and stepped into their full potential. This is not just a possibility, it's your birthright. You are designed to evolve, to grow, and to thrive. But you must take the first step. You must decide that today is the day you begin to rewire your thoughts and your brain. Start small. Choose one thought that no longer serves you and replace it with one that does. Commit to one new behavior that aligns with your vision of healing. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Remember, change is a process, not an event. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and trust that every step you take is bringing you closer to the life you desire. Your brain is listening, your body is responding, and your future is waiting for you to take action. So let's begin.